I've not done anything like this before. I'm massively shy personality. I do not go out. I do not go with many friends. So it is a bit of a shock to me that I've been invited here today. so just bear with me. I have a very dry sense of humor. There will be lots of jokes on my own life. Lots of events are happening. So yeah, take it easy and enjoy the journey with me today.
Glad to have you here.
Yeah.
So with your permission, can I start the session?
Yeah.
Okay. So very first question to you is, since how Onco-Connect came into picture and what motivated you to start this venture?
So I think let me give you a bit of a brief about myself first. I think it will be a good introduction to you of not only how I am and I think most of the people think I have a very unique personality itself. So born and brought up in Datta in Mumbai, with a very humble background. My father passed away when I was 6, brought up by my single mother. So I had a brief journey of how things go up and down in life. Later on moved to UK to do my master's in physiotherapy. Worked over there as a sales assistant in one of the Tesco's, where I learned actually the business development and sales. I think it's something like retail, Reliance Fresh. I was a till guy over there while doing my masters. And I learned amazingly well. I moved to Belfast, did some amazing work within the physiotherapy. One of the academics over there thought that I had something different, so he said, "Why don't you join the leadership?" So got into about 5 to 7 trusts, multiple projects, programs, all of that went through. Got really bored in 2014, so I had a car, I sold it, and I went traveling for about a year. I went to about 27 countries across the world. Came back with I think maybe a bit of a spirit to start something of my own. Gave me that confidence, risk-taking ability as well. Because once you travel somewhere alone, you know that you can do something different than what you were doing before. As we've been always been good, do a job, get settled, get kids, and get a car, and buy a house, another house, another house, another house. So I needed to take a break from that. So came back, came to India, started my own small startup. Drastically failed, I have to say. It was COVID time, we were nearing the valuation and everything, but it failed miserably, made lots of mistakes in it, massive amounts of mistakes. And again, one of the person that I was in an event and asked me about this thing, what do you take away from this failure of your startup? I said, personally, I think failure is like getting ditched by your own girlfriend, Thanks. However, the heart is sinking, but the mind keeps saying that you're going to find the next best thing. So I went back to London thinking that I'll start again. Became a co-founder, worked in about 2 medtech companies, became a co-founder in one of the big companies which works in India. Came back to India, realized that many of the UK, US companies that we see today sell propositions at a higher price to our people. So I said the product was mine, idea was mine, why should my people pay 3 times the amount, So I left the company, exited, came back here and started Onco-Connect today. That's one of the companies that I do. Another one I'm on advisory board of very amazing SKB AI company. We scaled across about now 5 geographies, doing well. Of course, as I said, we stay humble still and see where we go. We never know, but failure can be at the doorstep or success. So as it goes. So yeah, that's the introduction part of how I am at the moment. Yeah.
Great to know that, I would say, right? This is how you converted your personal problem into a social impact you are creating so far.
So I think, going back to the why I started Onco-Connect. So all of you over here, I think there are 3 takeaways from when you are looking at entrepreneurship. Very simple, I think there's a book by Simon Sinek that we need to read. It's Why, What and How. Go through it, it's a beautiful book, very short, because I don't read much, so it's fitting perfectly with what my intelligence levels goes, so I read it through. But the why is very important over there. The Onco-Connect why remains with my story of my mom. She had one cancer in 2005. So as I said, had a decent childhood, went to the UK, thought everything is great, I'm going to do everything for her now. I told her in 2004, I'm going to make you travel the world, you got the money, you got everything. And she called me the next day and she said, I'm diagnosed with cancer. The whole world fall apart, right? Anyways, she survived everything, all good. We came back again in 2009, 5 years down the cancer lane. Normally it's said to be you're safe from cancer. So 2010, I told her, I think you do Norway now. You're safe, you're good, you have the money. She again called me the next day and said she's diagnosed with another type of cancer. It's called ovarian cancer. So this cancer kept coming every 1 year, about 1.5 years. She was told she lived for 6 months. She lived for about 16 years. So with multiple medicines and things doing, we traveled a lot, everything. So that was the story of actually why we started Onco-Connect today. Being a healthcare professional working in global side as well as in Indian segments, I realized that I was struggling. I'm pretty sure lots of people are struggling like me. So how do we create awareness? How do we create this screening propositions? How do we detect cancer early is more important. Treatment is there. Lots of treatments are there. We'll be having 20 lakh cancer cases in India every year from this year. But unless and until we screen about 20 crore people, we won't be able to save lives. Life saving is better at the stage 1 or 2 level. So that's where the idea has come from. But let's see, I don't know how it works and what will happen about it. But the intention is there to make a social impact as well as a business impact.
No, that Akshay. I would like you to please elaborate more on Onco-Connect, how you are using AI to impact patient outcomes.
Yeah, so I don't know, it would be interesting to hear your thoughts. Does anybody know what AI is? What does it do actually? In a simple language. Yeah, making your life easy more paper. Yeah, ChatGPT, right? So I wish it was there when I was studying, but I was an outstanding student, always out of the class because I couldn't pass my exam. I think it would have really helped me at that time. But yeah, so AI for me is just making your learning basically what you do today. And it's part of our startup life as well. Like what mistakes I did in 2020, I don't repeat it today. For me, that is AI in a simplest of forms. I've learned my lesson and I've made sure that I don't repeat that mistakes and I learn it in a better way. So that's how I see AI. Onco-Connect AI is again differs from any other startups is we work mainly in the screening proposition. So where we want people to go through a questionnaire, like they have to go through about 40 questions with us, and we will be able to tell them that there is a trend that you are either a medium or a high risk of a particular 7 types of cancers. So it's built on a big data set. It's built on scientific evidence, expert consensus, algorithms have been built. These are big terms, and you will ask me in detail. I have no clue about it. I'm pretty much in a business point of view. The technical team will manage all the AI front. But I know from a vision perspective what we want to do. Every screening has to have layers. You cannot just say one question and you're done. So what we're going to do is we're going to have multiple AI computer vision technologies which are smartphone based, which will screen the cancers at an early stage. So that's the basic aim of Onco-Connect. Create that proposition, then do the diagnostics, and then help them with an expert opinion. We work with amazing in UK, we work with Pareek Center in Singapore, we have amazing institutes in India as well who are partnered right now. So that's the base proposition from an AI perspective is early detection AI, diagnostic AI, and a cancer risk assessment AI. But it's still in a development stage. Hopefully in a month or two we'll be up and live. So we've been live by the product. But all the screening camps and everything, all the professional contracts are starting from maybe end of December.
Great initiative, I would say. Since Onco-Connect is an early stage startup, Akshay, so I would like to know that what are the major challenges that early stage startups face in India?
Right. So I think one of the main things that you see today, from myself, I'll speak first, I guess. I don't think many people want to work with me because I'm so whimsical in nature. So that's one of the first things I would expect. That a leader, as a leader, you should inspire people. You'll always find different leaders when you work. I've worked in so many different segments, so many different companies. For me, it has always been a women leader. I've always, even in today's Onco-Connect as a company, we make sure that it's gender equal. Because that gives a great way of thought processes, working and all of that. But I find it very hard to get that skill set. So I think skill set is one of the main things that we are looking, especially in India. We end up studying a lot of things, we don't implement anything. So I would highly suggest people to actually, when they have an idea, you execute it. You do something about it. I'm not saying you need to do something special. Keep it small, but try doing something. Get an internship, do something for free, do volunteering. A lot of people have lost touch because of these mobile phones. They don't go and volunteer anywhere nowadays. When I was young, I used to go and volunteer for free. I used to learn 1 month here, there, whatever. Now YouTube is a great resource as well. So skill set, I will say first. Of course, the second part is actual product. What do you really want to do? Is there a need for a product? Half of the time I always see people just building a product and then realizing nobody wants to buy the product. So think about it, It's good to make the product. I would highly suggest you should do it, because then next time you learn that there was a need and you build something to implement it in a better way. So the need is one, why you are doing it. So that's, I think, one of the third would be funding, of course. But I think now it's changing in India, and I think you're part of the amazing institute out here. The national government as well as the state governments are helping a lot of startups to do different things. But I think funding is, everybody says, oh, we need this, someone actually don't need much. If you ask me today, the company that I built is built at 100 of the cost of any other company that has been built. So I won't even say that's crossed even, and my burn rate is not more than even a salary of a really high individual. That's what I'm saying. So you don't need that. What you need is a common alignment. Simple alignment of your thoughts. What you want to build, your vision, how big the product you want to take. If you can convince 5 people to do it with you, they will not charge you money. There are lots of good people around. Don't come to me because I'll charge money. So, but that's what I'm saying. Go to people who are interested in your product. Of course, there are a lot of people who will help you as well, connect them. I'm more than happy to help you guys. Whoever has a good idea, please come. We always listen to different things, a lot of takeaways from you and me together. But yeah, I think these are the 3 main things. I think market research is very important. So people don't do it, unfortunately, and then we realize later on that they have spent money. I didn't do it as well in my first startup. So as I said, I've made lots of mistakes. So it's very common to do that, but do it at least. Don't sit and not do it thinking that you're taking a risk which might be not very effective, So take that risk. Even if it gives you a worst kind of a feel, do it at least, at least you have done something about it.
Fourth challenge I would say would be selling off and convincing people. Like, Pesna, India, it's very difficult. So, fourth challenge in this thing would be like convincing.
Yeah, agreed. I think the power of convincing someone about your product comes from the vision of your product. How the product looks, what it does, and what impact it will have for tomorrow. If your outcomes are very clear, like I'll give you an example, right? I met someone who wanted to do something in health, and he said, I'm going to do this whole ecosystem. It's impossible to do the whole ecosystem. You will need at least 10 crores to do that or everything. Start small. That's something where you can actually make that impact. Tell someone that I had this idea, I executed it. So I think that's where I see major things that we should take away from. Actually, I forgot the question. Can you repeat it?
Actually, I just said that fourth major challenge would be convincing Indian population.
Oh yeah, sorry. I'm completely on the wrong path. Yeah. Please tell me if I'm on the wrong path. So yeah, convincing Indian population, I think it's pretty easy actually now. It's not difficult. I think people are really on board on digital side. They love digital products. Pricing is a big issue in the country. But it will change. Today, if we put out the products, in 5 years' time, I expect people will start paying for it. When we had mobile phones and everything, we never used to pay much. Now everybody has a good bill coming to them. So it changes. But if we don't put the products out, we won't see innovations coming through. So they will get convinced. So don't worry about convincing people. Create a good vision to convince them, and a good team, definitely.
They will not be convinced, we'll be coming back to you also.
Yeah. You can always take a couple of quotes from me. I think they will be convinced for that.
So next question to you is, how does the incubator support the growth of a startup?
So I think so when we applied with IIHMR as well, I think one of the main reasons was validity, that someone is actually looking towards your startup in a positive way, where we can put the product out. We also have lots of networks coming out of IIHMR, and of course we have integrated with another one, and I've done it before in UK as well. I I would consider is credibility is one of the main things. Networking is the second thing. Third thing is of course education, awareness. You get an amazing amount of mentorship, different ways of thinking, whether it's brand positioning, whether it's marketing, whether it's business development side, whether you want to market research side, product segment side, AI side, technology side, whatever you want, you ask, you get it. So I think I'm also grateful to all the team at IIHMR. I think they've done a fantastic job in terms of creating that line. But again, different incubators will work differently. So I think we should always be open and we exchange notes in terms of taking the feedback back. So the next time might be an improvement on top of what we have done today. So incubation is good, but again, as I said, you should to get selected to that incubation, you should have a good product as well. Just don't think that you have an idea and everybody's going to accept you. That's not possible. We have about 5 lakh people who are applying everywhere. So maybe hardly 500 people get selected. So you have to have a good product in line.
Yes, IIHMR startup is doing a great job, I would say. IIHMR has currently incubated 44 startups. So huge round of applause to IIHMR Startup Foundation. Our startups are pretty convinced with what IIHMR Startup is already doing. So next question to you, Akshay, is what difficulties did you run into when creating and putting your solutions into practice?
Right, I think as I said before, you have to create a good team. I think convincing people to be part of your journey is very important. Many of the people want a lot of money to be part of your team, so I think that is the main thing of convincing them, maybe to do for free, maybe to do at a very low salary for 6 months or something like that. So I think that is the main thing I found it very difficult. Second part is adoption, especially in India is very not great. We have to convince people to adopt your technology, not only just in the directly business to customer segment, but also at the corporate level. We work with insurance companies, we work with corporate wellness companies, employee benefit platforms, work with life sciences. So there are different segments that we work at a government level as well. So how every segment is different at the end of the day. Everyone you have to take on board, you have to defer each segment. So that's what I think is the hardest part of putting the solution. But if you know where your product sits as a market fit, I think you will be okay. I think it's not that bad. I think, but yeah, just think it through.
Great. So let us move on to the next part of our session. As we are having coffee on the table, so we'll be starting with coffee with IIHMR Startups, a rapid fire round with you, a very informal start show. So the very first question for rapid fire show for you is, what was your first job and did you like that?
First job? Oh my god. I don't think anybody wants to know what the first job was. Okay. I think I can tell you. No, actually I can. I think the first job that I took was in Breach Candy Hospital. Very interesting story actually. So Breach Candy Hospital, that was a physio, right? I came from Pune, from Sancheti. And Breach Candy is known to be one of the world-class hospitals. Interestingly, not a single boy has been employed ever in Breach Candy Hospital from 1948. Yeah. So I came in like 2004, I think. I came out of Sancheti and I called up all my friends. Lucky enough, being a physiotherapist, 40 girls, 2 boys. That's at the end of the day. When I went into physiotherapy class, I said, oh wow, this is the best thing that has happened to my life. And I went by mistake. That was also, I wanted to go dentistry and I ended up in physio, but I never moved out of physio after that, after seeing what I saw. So came back to Breach Candy. So everybody said, no chance. No boy has ever been employed. I said, things change, there is always first one. So I went and applied on that night. Next day morning, I got a call. Why don't you join? So it was not great, I would have to say. They made me sit on a, gym ball. This big gym ball is there. So there were like 18 women in the whole department, right? And there was a gym ball at the corner. All 18 are sitting on a chair. The lady says to me, can you sit over there? She said, make me sit for 1 month. 1 month on that gym ball. So I asked the lady, why do you make me sit on this gym ball? She said, we don't want you here. I said, I'll get another gym ball. I'll sit on this for another 3 months. So I never left it. So I got the job in 6 months. They gave me the offer and everything. So I think one of the first boys with me, another guy was there called Deepesh. We broke that shackles in Breach Candy itself. So that was one of my first jobs. I would say, interesting story. But.
that. I would say that first job teaches you so much, and that would be that is a great experience, I would say.
Yeah, and never give up. If anybody tells you that this is not possible, it's 100% possible. So just persevere yourself, to convince so many women to give you a job. I think you have done well at it. I'm not going to just keep a disclaimer on that, but yeah, it's a dry humor joke.
Okay, the next question to you, Akshay, is we would like to know about any two role models you admire or any two models you look upon.
Role models. I think I should call myself and myself, but yeah. Let's not go there. But yeah, I think first one will be my mom. As I said, coming from the background that I come from, of course, in terms of how I think, how I philosophy is, very thinker by background, travel crazy, met thousands of people across the world. I think she was the one who actually embedded that into us. So me and my sister. So yeah, I think she was, and of course her commitment to us as kids, being a single mom, as well as going through 50 chemotherapy lines over a period of 15 years. Difficult, but I think there's always a smile every morning. So I think that kind of a feeling is always there. Be happy with what you have, be content. I see a lot of rich people not being content, and there is a famous quote as well that if you see a lot of poor people are actually dancing on the streets, but the rich people are actually not. So it gives you where the happiness is actually lying. So I think that's what I think that is the difference. I think second role model, I will keep it as maybe from a business point of view, Steve Jobs always. Not because he built an Apple. I think the why was very important, how he did things. Very different. Remember his story about when he did his either iPad. When he was building an iPad, the guy who was doing the iPad, he had about 0.2 degrees difference at the edges of the iPad. It's in the book, Underwater iPad book. He made them go back 6 months till that 0.2 is corrected. So today's iPad is so perfect with its angles is because Steve Jobs made sure that it's at a particular angle. And that kind of vision, that kind of perfection, that kind of things that we see today is because of him, and I really like it. So I think that is one of the role models that I always.
The next question to you, Akshay, is if you were not working here, what would you probably be doing?
This is another question again I should answer, but yeah. Frankly speaking, I'm fascinated by Uber driving. Yeah, I applied for Uber driving when I was in London. I was doing my own startup. I had a great tech company going over there. But my wife is like always, why do you apply Uber? I said, well, why not? I'm free on Mondays and Wednesdays evenings. I play Tuesday, Thursday squash and Saturdays. So 2 days I have free time. I want to see how the technology works. Because they have amazing technology and their training is amazing. One of the best trainings are done in Uber. Right? So I should learn it. I said, tomorrow if we do our own company, we should know how to do training and all of that. So yeah, but unfortunately it didn't go through because my license got expired. But yeah, I think that is, in India I should be able to do that much easier.
You would be there, then you would surely be getting good discounts, right?
Yes. No, you have to pay double. There's no discount at mine, definitely not. You get a guy who's actually in good clothes. You'll have a bottle of water, a newspaper, and everything sorted in my Uber. So, and some travel books as well. So you definitely pay twice. There's an option of tipping, right? Nobody gets out of the door without a tip.
Great, that's very good. So the next question to you is, as we heard that you have already traveled 27 plus countries. So do you prefer action-packed vacations or relaxing on the beach?
So I don't know what action-packed is actually, but I think I like a combination of two. But as we travel a lot now, I think there's a difference between a traveler and a tourist. Always remember, tourist is someone who actually reads a book and goes out somewhere. Travelers is actually who writes the book. Right? So that is the difference. So always remember that. I like the first one because I like myself. Many places that I go, I see a lot of things. I take risks. I go to places that nobody goes. I just went to Cairo. I backpacked about a month ago. It was amazing. I went to the city of Dead. The city of Dead is just across the river in Cairo. very rich area and there's a massively poor area, just like how Bombay is as well at times, lots of slums and then you have these amazing buildings. So yeah, from a travel perspective, yeah, you want to travel the way you want to. Some days I want to have a luxury holiday, then you do that. But yeah, the preference is mainly as a backpacker. The more I backpack, the more I realize that I can get connected with more and more people. Yeah, and so many interesting stories in backpacking, which I cannot say all.
I would say this is a main advantage of being an entrepreneur, being a job giver than a job seeker, that you are traveling across many countries and having good luxurious vacations.
So I'll be honest with you, I don't. I just went to Jordan to be surprised. I did it in $1,000, and there's nothing like $1,000 is nothing. I would say so. You can easily do. When I backpack, I still remember I had a nice car, and I sold it off. My wife wasn't happy, but we did a conscious decision of selling it off. We did the whole trip in about $8,000, $8,000 to $9,000 in a year. I'm saying about 16 countries at that time at one point. So you don't need a lot of money to travel. You can work on travel, you can do farming, you can do so many other steps which get you the money as well. So yeah.
Next question to you, Akshay, is if you are asked to teach a college course or any subject, what would it be?
I think in India.
Obviously, in IIHMR, I would say.
Oh, actually, I don't think they'll give me that job, but I think interestingly, I think there's a lack of, I don't think so. I don't teach at all.
Entrepreneurship development.
Entrepreneurship development, maybe, yeah. I think I'll go into a comedy segment actually, trying to teach humor and trying to tolerate humor as well. I think that is lacking in India many times, I think. I think there should be a separate course and a separate institute for this. I think that people who want to understand it, I think that is where I should be.
Yeah, very, very, very well said, Akshay. As in IIHMR only, placements are approaching, and all of the students are so much stressed. So I would say there is a much needed class of yours. So we could probably be contacting you in future.
Definitely. I think also in terms of, as your guys are going for interviews, you need to remember, right? Most of the interviews you think that you're given grade. Like I still remember I was in India in 2006. I got a call from Cambridge, right? It's one of the biggest and the best hospitals in the world, as in Brooks. And my friend was at a very high position over there. And he said, Akshay, I'm going to get you the interview. Just come here. And I never go normally through influence. I've never done anything in influence in my life. This is the one I went with influence. And he said, you come, you take this interview. I gave the interview. I came home, I called up my mom, got the job, my interview is gone, amazing. Next day morning, she comes and tells me your interview was like, sorry for my language, was shit, basically. You don't deserve to be in this. I was so disheartened. I took my bag and went and applied in Tesco as a manager. Next day I was working in Edinburgh, 3 days later I was in Tesco. But interviews, don't take it too seriously how I took it. Because it's a way, how it is in interviews. Just be yourself. I was not myself when I went there. And I think the reason was that I went through the influence. If I would have not gone without influence, I think I would have cracked it, pretty sure. So yeah, I think keep yourself when you're in interviews. Be relaxed. There are so many jobs available. And if you don't get anywhere, start something of your own. Most of the time, we end up spending, like as I always say, many people, either you can write your own story or you can fit into someone else's script. I don't know what you want to do. So if you have a story of yourself, you should start something of your own rather than waiting for someone to give you a 6 lakh rupees job or 10 lakh rupees job. You will learn way more when you do something of your own.
Yeah. So that we can also travel to 87 plus countries, I would say.
Yeah, even 27 states in India are amazing. I have to be 28 and whatever, yeah.
So the next question to you, Akshay, is what is the best career advice you have ever received, or how about the worst?
So I think, when I joined Sancheti, I wouldn't say the career advice, it was lifetime advice, I think. So, you give CET kind of a thing, right? Medical insurance exams are done. I got a date of say 27th of June to go there and get the admission, and I forgot. I didn't reach only on the 27th, I reached on the 31st July to get the admission. So my MBBS seat is gone. Basically, my mother is screaming out of my head. She's like, or like beard to a block, whatever. So this physiotherapy came through my door. So I took the physiotherapy job. I went in this first day, as I said, 40 girls, 2 boys in heaven. And suddenly one lady comes and tells me, there is a Viva going, please go and do the Viva. So this guy, a physiology professor, I don't know who he was, but I went inside. They just pushed me in. I don't even have a book in hand. And he goes to me and says, okay, start. I said, start what? He said, you don't know physiology? You've been here for 2 months. I said, but I'm not here for 2 months, it's my first day. You are a liar, he's telling me. He opens this door, which has a big window to it. I said, jump. I said, jump where? Jump down. You don't deserve to be in this college. And then, if you survive, open a pan bidi shop, he said. That is where you are. So that's a good life advice. I told myself, I cannot become like this man ever in my life, You need to be better than what he is. This is the professor I am getting. I need to develop a company where we create leaders who are not like this tomorrow. So that was a good life lesson, I would say. Not really job kind of thing, but yeah, it's a good sense of reality check and where I should stand. I still love art and I actually don't like art, but I like the shops.
Nice.
Yeah.
So the last question to you, Akshay, is there any incident that remained with you for life?
I think I have so many, it's like maybe 100+ incidents, I would say, because you know how I am, but I think there is one particular incident, I might bore you off as well, I don't know, but it's something you can take away, and the reason why I'm telling you that I'll tell you later, and it's helping my startup as well. As a physio, I used to work in Ruby Hall Hospital in Pune. I was an intern at that time. There was an old lady, about 78-year-old, she was blind in both eyes, and both her legs were amputated by diabetes, so she couldn't walk. Everybody was treating her, she got her legs and everything, about to be discharged and all. So she asked everybody over there, she didn't have a lot of money, but nice lady, very well dressed and everything. She said, I don't have a lot of money, can someone help me walk in the house or down the road? Everybody said no, because she's not able to pay, right? So I said, okay, fine, I was an intern. I said, could see me lag jayega, why not? I said, yes, I'll come with you. I used to like her. So I started going to her. So 1 month happened, 2 months happened, 3 months happened. Slowly she started walking. She started walking right up to the edge of the gate, almost about 200 meters with these 2 prosthetic legs. So one night before I left Sanjay, about a week ago, she said, Akshay, can you come out? I went out. I thought she was going to give me some money. I was so happy. She's like, you know what? I'm now able to walk. I can't see. I've never seen you, right? I just touched you. So she said to me, I've not dated anyone for the last 15 years. I said, okay. Will you come for a date with me to Renaissance Club in Pune? Yeah, why not? Till you pay the bill, I'm okay. So she said, yeah, fine, okay, I'll pay the bill, but you have to come. So we went together. We went to Reliance, I dropped her back. Next day I went to Bombay. 1.5 साल उधर निकल गया उधर बॉम्बे में. I applied for London को जाने का टाइम आ गया. Suddenly one evening I got a ring on the bell. The bell rang. Yeah, there was a postman in front of it. I got a big letter. The letter में there was a 6,500 rupees in there. इसलिए 6,500. What day before I'm leaving, there was a small letter by Hannah. That was her name basically. I couldn't see you at that time, and she said that I didn't have money that time. Today I have. So I'm just sending you this 6,500 rupees for 65 days that you treated me. Keep them with you for your life because you will need it one day. What I'm giving you today, So I think that episode has remained with me forever. If we do good at a particular point, your expectation should be not that it will happen that day. It comes back to you somewhere or the other. So you'll always meet good people, you'll always meet bad people. You have to ignore the bad, you take up the good, it will come back to you at some point or the other. So so always that's an incident I think that has remained with me for my life. Of course, there are so many others that I don't want to discuss, but yeah, I would take away the life-changing episode of my career, I would say.
I would say we should stay humble, stay grounded, and if you are doing good, good will come to you, for sure.
So I would definitely add on to something that you be humble, you be foolish also, very important, and you have to be wild also. If you are going to be very straightforward, boring kind of a personality, life is good, we'll have everything at your doorstep. But when you, maybe when I die tomorrow, I just want to look back and see that I had an amazing journey and adventure. That's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for 10 houses with me or 10 cars. I have no intention of showing off to anybody what I do. Just a small food plates, which feeds my children, I'm fine. But the journey that we have done for the last 10 years is something I will look forward to for the next 10 years. So I think that should be the takeaway rather than just remaining stable and you have to be wild as well.
So here comes to an end to our rapid fire chat show, which was not so rapid. So before wrapping up, Akshay, I would like to ask a last question to you. That is, what would you advise to aspiring entrepreneurs here in this room?
Very interesting. So actually a good question. I don't think I am the right person to answer this. I think there are amazing entrepreneurs and founders way better than where I stand today. I'm just really grateful to be invited by this degree. I don't have huge success behind me or anything like that. Lots of areas I will actually say. But I think one takeaway you should do is if you have an idea, you need to execute it. Don't sit on it. Time just flies. 5 years later, you will think, oh, I had this and I didn't do anything about it. It's the same way, If I didn't have proposed my girlfriend when she was in 19 years old, she wouldn't have been my wife today. So, right? So that time would have flown off at that time. So do the right thing at the right time. And yeah, as an entrepreneur, don't be disappointed. There are a lot of people who will disappoint you. But if you have that perseverance, if you have a commitment to your product, I'm pretty sure you will find your way out. Don't go to others to find the way out. You are yourself need to find this way. Of course, Google helps, and now ChatGPT as well, so you can always take their help. But figure out a way that how you want to promote yourself. Develop your own personality. Don't just sit back and think that okay, कोई तो मेरे में invest करेगा, कुछ तो होगा इसका पैसा आने के बाद. इससे कुछ नहीं होता. In reality, nobody invests in you until you are invested in yourself. Okay, so invest in yourself. Think laterally. Don't think like a. I won't even go there, but yeah, don't think like a horse. I would say. Just going straight in the line. Go here, go there. There's so many diagonals around. Take absorb a lot of things that are going around. Lots of opportunities. Make use of them. Go to good people. So many of them, they'll help you. They are more than enough to help you over here. And yeah, I think that's what I think as an entrepreneur needs to be. But yeah, stay humble because sometimes money runs into us and we think that we become really big. We don't remember what we were supposed to do. As you see, today a lot of valuation games, even in the oncology segment, if you see, many of the startups are valued at 100 crores, more than that. More, Onco-Connect also is part of one of that. But valuation is not something we are interested in. What we are interested in is actually impact. Do we actually make difference to people's life? Then only the money is of use. But we are enough anyways right now. So you don't need anything additional to do something different in your life. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Akshay, for your valuable words. And thank you for being such an amazing guest. It was very nice interviewing you. And I would like to ask if anyone in the audience is having any questions.
Yeah, please. I think, as I said, being interactive, I think I'm pretty cool guy. As you can see, luckily enough, my poster is not here with my sunglasses on. I was asked for it's been 10 years that all the organizations have been asking me for this professional photograph. I've never taken one. As I said, I'm a super shy personality. The only photograph that I have is the one with the sunglasses, taken by my best friend, of course. And he does say that when you look like a gold when even you're a rust, that's what his sentences are all the time. So yeah,